empowering beliefs can transform your life. I remember I started working when I was in 7th grade. My father was an accountant. He took me to his office to help him. And all summers were like that. It was not the typical kid summer, but before computers, as an accountant helper, you had a lot of things to do. And it was fun, and I learned a lot. And one of the most important things that I learned is one time that my father told me, son, when you work, it doesn't matter if it's a small company, a large corporation, if you are the CEO or you are the janitor, or if you are well paid or not, you always work as if you were the owner of the company. And that will bring you the best results. I have always admired my father as a wise, hard-working man. And I said, that makes sense. That sounds like good advice. I will adopt that idea, and I will use it in my life. And I did. I still do. And it has made me very successful. That was an empowering belief. I also remember from those days that I never learned how to swim. My parents didn't pay for swimming lessons. I didn't have the luxury of a sports club that came later when I was a teenager. And as an adult, I have tried several times, unsuccessfully. But once I heard somebody saying, if you don't learn how to swim when you are this size, then as an adult, it's very difficult. And I said, there you go. That explains my problem. I'm an adult, therefore it's very difficult to learn how to swim. I adopted that idea, that limiting belief. Today, I am an avid scuba diver with more than 100 immersions under my belt. But if I'm not touching the floor of the pool, I feel very uncomfortable. I sink like an anchor. Maybe that's why I'm a good scuba diver. Beliefs, empowering beliefs and limiting beliefs, are the collection of ideas that we gather from childhood. We get them from people we love, from people we admire, from people we respect, or just because they give us a very good excuse to explain why are we failing at something. And this collection of thoughts is what forms our belief system. The best analogy that I have found to explain this is the one of a photographer. A photographer has a collection of lenses. And imagine that we are all photographers and we cannot see live, we cannot get images, we cannot get our reality with bare eyes. We always need a camera and we need to grab our lenses. And sometimes we grab the lens of success and we feel powerful and fulfilled. Sometimes we grab the lens of potential and we feel powerful, ready to tackle any challenge. Sometimes we grab the lens of learning and performance, and we feel ready to improve, ready to become a better person. The problem is that in our collection, we have also limiting beliefs, broken lenses, scratched lenses, and they give us a distorted reality. They give us a false perception and limit our potential, limit the development of our talents. When we grab that broken lens of, I am too old for this, or the broken lens of, this is too difficult, I've never been good at math, or the broken lens of, this is impossible in this economy. They create what we call the comfort zone. What is the comfort zone? It's the comfy place where we act and we perform at a certain level without going out of our boundaries. But it's also a trap. It's a prison. Because as we grow, we have been building at the perimeter of that comfort zone a wall of limiting beliefs. Think about you. When you reach that point, when you say, this is too difficult, or I cannot do that, you are hitting your own wall. You build it. Let me share with you a story on how to transform a limiting belief to an empowerful belief. Empower me. When I was 20 years old, I was in my second year of college, and I have always loved traveling. I have always loved languages and planning. And I had my next 8 to 10 years perfectly laid out. It was very simple. I was going to finish my college degree. Then I was going to grab a backpack and travel the world for 1 year. Live some time in Asia, in Europe. Then I will settle in London and do a master's degree and perfect my English. Then I will move to Paris and study a PhD and learn perfect French. And after 6, 7 years, I will go back to Mexico with a master's degree, a doctorate degree, 3 languages, and I will get myself one of those highly paid executive jobs. I will find the right woman, or maybe I will bring it from Paris or from London, and I will start a family. It was perfect, beautiful, and I was ready to execute it. But when I was 20 years old, I also had Claudia, my girlfriend. And one time, she came, and she said, I am pregnant. You are what? I was not thrilled with the news. She was not thrilled with my reaction. I hated it. I hated myself. I hated her. I hated my life. This was not in my plan. Did you hear that in my plan? It was not in my plan. I didn't want that. I was in shock. And I remember in those moments how one of the most powerful limiting beliefs and one of the most common was born in my mind. And if you haven't had this thought, you can leave the room. The thought was, I'm screwed. My life went down the drain. My plans went down the drain. It's over. At some point, I had to tell my father about the situation. So I went to him and I said, Dad, I need to speak with you. Sure, what's going on? Well, Claudia's pregnant. What? I told you guys to be careful. I knew this was going to happen. Oh, boy. What are you going to do? I don't know what to do. I hate this. I don't want this life. You know my plans. Study abroad, travel the world, get my degrees, come back. I don't want a family now. I don't want a wife. What do I do? Do you love her? Of course I love her. If I would have to pick a wife today, it would be her. But I don't want to pick a wife today. I don't want this. Please tell me what to do. And he said, son, I cannot tell you what to do, but I can tell you one thing. Having you has been the most wonderful thing that happened in my life. I remember that answer as if it was last night. I remember how it clicked in my mind and switched from the limiting belief of I'm screwed, my life is over, to the empowering belief of if having a child is one of the most wonderful things in life, maybe it's not such a bad thing. Maybe something that I should embrace. And my life was not down the drain. I had to drop out of school, but then I graduated from college 8 years later. I have traveled many, many countries in the world. I speak Spanish, Portuguese, a little French, and almost perfect English. And I don't have a master's degree or a doctorate degree, but I have had the highly paid executive jobs. So that answer from my father gave me a great gift that I want to share with you. I want you to consider this day to adopt this idea in your belief system, this empowering belief. And that belief is you cannot always control your life's direction, but you can always control your attitude. You cannot always control your life's direction, but you can always control your attitude. Guillermo is 28 years now, and he surely is one of the most wonderful things in my life.